Next up, Mark Terry from Southlake, Texas.
Thank you. I'm Mark Terry. I'm proud principal at Eubanks Intermediate School in Southlake, Texas. This has been a terrific conference. What a great place for a conference. Kudos to NAESP, to our Florida principals, and to Tampa. The weather's been great. I've enjoyed it. I hope you've had a great experience. But also great to be among colleagues who are fighting for education and for our public education, for our kids in schools across the nation. Each of you lead what I believe to be the greatest institution of hope this world has ever known. Real hope. Hope is found in our schools every day across the nation, and you guys are the ones that lead it. Schools like Booker T. Washington Elementary here in Tampa, which is led by Principal Toy Martinez. I hope Toy is here because I brought her a little thing in the paper. You saw that yesterday. Toy, I'd like to thank you for allowing 100 principals to come in and help you out at your school. But I wish you could have seen the kids as you were walking around the playground, because they're hanging on you. And you're the kind of person that gives hope. But you as principals do that every day in your schools. Whether you know it or not, you have an impact on kids just by walking around, touching shoulders, looking in their eyes. You dispense hope, and I want to thank you for your service to our kids. And, you know, I really do know about hope. I was glad to hear Julie's story. I'm a child of poverty. My father left my family when my brother was just a baby. My mother had 4 kids to raise. She had no skills. She had no means of support. So my mom went to work in the school cafeteria. We went to school, all 12 in my first grade class. And she worked at Sears. She drove into the city to work at Sears at night to support us. But years later, I found out about somebody who worked behind the scenes to help us out, and that was my elementary school principal. Miss Jackie Carden helped make sure my family was fed. In fact, since my mom worked in the cafeteria, Miss Carden would go out and get those big gallon things of pork and beans. You remember those? And she would put them in the back of my mom's car. She actually helped feed us, but I'm not real big on pork and beans anymore because we had a lots of pork and beans. She also bought us clothes, and what she loved to buy were those jeans at Sears. Remember those double-kneed jeans? And my mom would sew another one in the inside, and I would go to school the first few weeks like that. But I really remember the love and respect that Miss Carden gave me. She gave me personal attention, sometimes with a wooden stick on the rear of my pants, but I didn't deserve those, but I do appreciate what she did for me. But when I was a senior in high school, Miss Carden, my elementary principal, came to me and said she had arranged for me to take a test on a Saturday, and if you were a Terry, you worked on Saturday. So I told her I couldn't do that, and she said, oh, yeah, I've arranged it. But back then, in the 60s, you didn't say no. So I went. That test turned out to be the ACT. Later on, she came to me, and she told me I was going to go to college. Well, again, my family, we didn't go to college. It was work or it was military. But at 18, you were supposed to be out of the house. And we were. We had to do a little plan. I told her my family didn't have the money, which she very well knew, but she said, you're going anyway. And a little later on, about a few months later, I was going to school. Packed my little 1970 Ford Maverick, headed off to school. And my mom never saw the school where I went to college. It cost me $12 my first year of college. Later on, it tells me how smart I am from Texas. Later on, I learned Miss Carden paid for my first year of college. That's providing hope for a kid. And later on, when they named a school after her, I had the opportunity to be there. I wasn't the only one. There were 25 people there that testified to Miss Carden. But you know, it doesn't take that. You provide hope for kids, too. When you walk down the hall and you notice a kid, when you correct them, when you hug them, you know how we correct them in the morning and hug them in the afternoon? Those late nights when you go on home visits in neighborhoods that are rich or poor, you know, even now I bet you could think of a kid that you're helping, or if you're like me, you're feeling guilty about one you should be helping. But I want to thank you for the work you do for kids, for providing them hope when no one else will, for instilling in them that they can make it each and every day. As President-elect, I want to visit your zone. I want to visit your states, but more important, I really want to visit your school because I want to thank you in front of kids for what you do. I also have a strong desire to forge a partnership for kids between you, your state affiliates, and NAESP. Together we grow stronger. And there's this great quote I love. A triple braided cord cannot easily be broken. Working together, we can be that cord for kids. At a time in our history like no other, remember Sir Ken, more than ever we need to advocate for principals, for schools, but most of all for our kids. Let's join together and passionately work to gain quality early childhood education for our kids. I also went to the Big Ten breakfast yesterday, or the luncheon yesterday, and the one thing, we heard the same thing over and over. They're banging us, they're killing us, they're destroying public education, and I truly believe that. But what really impressed me was the optimism, the passion, I want to get up and fight this. I thought we were going to have pitchforks and signs by the time it's all over. But I want to say that I was impressed with the attitude of fight. Let's fight. I want to end by thanking you again for your commitment, for being a guardian of hope for all kids, rich, poor, urban, rural, all colors, all creeds. You do make a difference. I want to thank my Texas friends for their kindness and support, as well as Zone 8. And I really want to thank each of you for kind of humoring me, my accent. I take a lot of abuse on that. And for befriending my wife, Karen, who's definitely my better half. And guys, you know that you married up just like me. Karen, thank you. I am Mark Terry. I want to work on your behalf and that of children. I'd be honored to receive your vote. God bless you, God bless your work, and God bless America.